Hi friends, thank you for watching this video today. If you like it, and if you don't, just subscribe to the channel anyway and hit the notification bell, because otherwise you don't get notifications that I've posted a video. I'm sorry that I'm shaking so much. I don't really know why that's happening. I think it's because I just rehearsed and I'm about to perform today, which makes me nervous. I've woken up with 2 spots on the end of my nose, which is just fabulous. Today we are going to Leamington for Art in the Park. The event that we're doing the performance with is Scriptstuff poetry. The one rule is, I don't know why that came out, the one rule today for me anyway is no swearing, which I'm not very good at because I have a sailor mouth. So is it sailor? Is that the right saying? A sailor mouth? A trucker mouth? A bad mouth. I don't actually know if that's a saying, but I swear a lot.
So we chop it, so we do it. This is when you come feel like down the street, alright. So we chop it, so we do it. Down down and we a lock down the street. So we chop it, so we do it. This is when you come feel like down the street. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them tackle up the big room. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them tackle up the big room. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them tackle up the big room. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them tackle up the big room.
Oh Leamington, you're my kind of town, famous for your spa and all your other corner shops. Thank you. Mary had a little lamb, a slice of roast beef, turkey, some boiled potatoes, seasonal veg, gravy and a teaspoon of mint sauce.
Sometimes you laugh, sometimes they don't, sometimes they rhyme, sometimes they don't rhyme, because you don't have to rhyme in poetry, alright kids?
This fattening gilded snake. Sorry, that's my dog. That's not part of my own.
Another Scriptstuff favourite. Another, I think, the inaugural Scriptstuff Slam winner, I think. She won the very first one we ever did a couple of years ago. Yes, we're going to be entertained. Please welcome Jemima Hughes.
Thank you so much. Thank you for gathering around. I realise the weather is extremely unpredictable at the moment and you might end up getting drenched from being cold, but he makes me feel like I'm his when he speaks my name. It could just be the way I'm hearing it. He isn't to blame. Let's face it, he probably does say every other person's name with the same voice. I forgive any of his actions to keep on the receiving end of his reactions. I replace other people's time for his interaction because he's a profound distraction. I try focusing on a positive outcome to encourage the law of attraction, but it's infiltrated with negativity as I convince myself I am not to his satisfaction. Being good enough for yourself, I like to think that can be taught. Being good enough for someone else is not a battle that should ever be fought, but if he asked me to be his bag for life, I would. I'd hold his baggage and he'd use me over and over again because love hurts this good. Fast forward to the weekend and I'm hanging out with my friend. The soundtrack to our evening is Arctic Monkeys' Mardy Bum because he says I've got a face on. I'm wishing it was I Wanna Be Yours and that he was serenading me with some kind of light-hearted allure, but I know the most appropriate tune would be Snap Out of It because if someone doesn't grab my shoulders and shake, I am never gonna quit. I might be putting 1 and 1 together and coming up with 11, but I'll take it if the answer means we're side by side. I'm not shy, but he's making me question whether these are emotions that I should hide. I watch films I would never watch and don't pay any attention, then pray he doesn't lose the storyline and ask me a question. He'll clock the lead and exclaim, she's fit, and although I probably agree, I'm just wishing he'd said it about me. I mean, he's open and he feels his feelings with me, but I guess that's because I'll share with anyone given a mic, a stage and some company. How can he complete me and I not complete him? When I thought of love, I'd have seen red or pink, and now the colour of his eyes seeps in. He is the flame and I am the wax. The brighter he burns, I just melt against the glass. If we can sing like losers at the top of our lungs on the first car ride, how is this not already a work of art and a one-off find? I have never been into astrology, but I'm reading both our star signs, only believing it when it sounds like our stars are perfectly aligned. When the pain hits, it's like the borrowers have snuck into my chest and they're pulling at different sides of my heart, causing distress, each giving instructions from within of what I should do. He's not worth it, you're gonna get hurt. He probably feels the same as you. Am I in love? Or am I in love with the idea of being in love with him when really I want to rip off his clothes with lust, but I don't want to be labelled a slut, so I'm using love as a pseudonym. I look at him, he's already looking at me. He looks away. I try, but my eyes fixate. Everything is still. Everything except my butterflies giggling over the prospect of romance, over the prospect of that look being more than just a well-timed glance. I've never felt peace like I have in his eyes, and now I'm in a trance. His eyes drew in my heart in pencil, and rather than seeing it as temporary, I thought I saw potential. My girlfriends will say it's his loss, but I know it's mine, because if he could see what he was doing to my heart and my mind, he wouldn't think it was fine. He would think he'd crossed a line, and he'd say, I'm sorry, I should have read the signs. The emotion comes in waves, and like a wave to the shore, he washed over me unconsciously, shifting pieces of me to suit him until I didn't recognise me anymore. My heart is sweating from all its hard work. The borrowers are singing under the shower to REM Everybody Hurts. I want to cry, but then he'll ask why, and I'll have to lie and say I'm hormonal, it's just that time. And then he'll comfort me with his skin on mine, and I'll lose more control than when I caught his eye. I sing those car ride songs in the shower like a fool, and I rehearse our conversations to the door frame because it has a bit more substance than a flat wall. Me pretending to act naturally has got me looking like a real oxymoron, so has trying to articulate something that can only be felt, but I can't stop going on. I worry when we're not talking in case he's talking to someone else, for one and for two, because I need to know he's safe. I can't stand the thought of him suddenly being gone, and I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm putting all my eggs in his basket so that when he takes it to the checkout, my heart can be spent. And I'm asking for a refund even though I'm not the one with the receipt and the purchase was made with my consent. Why would he want me if when he looks at me he sees himself? Because he is all I believe I am now, and he already loves him. He doesn't need me to show him how. I don't know my heart anymore, I only know ours, and although we've only been in the same room for the last 20 minutes, all these thoughts racing around have made it seem like hours. My butterflies begin to morph back into caterpillars, and the borrowers are digging a grave in my heart to bury the ideal of us before I have the chance to become bitter. I want to be what he is to me to someone else, but that is a lot to ask. He was never mine. It's time for me to take a step back. And still, I'm looking at him. He looks at me. I look away.
I look at the nation and the environment of stagnation that's propagated by a silent participation of an apathetic population. We don't need more education.
Would Miley Cyrus fire us if she got coronavirus? Would we all face termination if she tried self-isolation, like the goons at Wetherspoons who swoon in millionaire cocoons and tell us go and stack some shelves and then congratulate themselves? I want to thank you all for coming, the people who come and shared their words and performed poetry for us, and those who've just come and let the words wash over you, and you've absorbed a bit of extra culture, as if there's not enough culture around here in the middle of a festival like this. So thank you all so much for coming to support us.